Crypto, man, it's been testing a lot of people recently. I've been looking at the timeline over on social media, what people are talking about, and there is definitely a lot of pessimism, a lot of fear. People talking about shutting up shop, walking away from this asset class forever. I don't think that's the right take. I want to break down in this video the bull case, the bear case, what's going on with corporate earnings, what's going on with the Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP charts. We got XRP ETFs coming soon, guys. We got a lot to cover today. Okay, so we're gonna get straight into this. Answering your questions, second half of the streaming. Yes, we are streaming 2 hours earlier today, man. Got some stuff going on in the afternoon. It is Halloween. Happy Halloween, of course, to everybody who celebrates. I hope you got your pumpkins ready and carved if you're celebrating. Everyone be devastatedly bearish, please. AI is watching. I got shafted in the last rally. Looks like history is repeating. Yep. Larkman Holiday in New Zealand. Wish that you were here. Thanks, man. Up and around the Bay of Islands. Beautiful up there. Love the Bay of Islands. You got to go. There's this incredible forest up that way called the Waipu Forest. When you're driving back down towards Auckland, make sure to go a little bit out of your way and go check it out. It's got those giant kauri trees. It's a really amazing place. Spend a couple hours there, walk through the forest, see gargantuan 2,000-year-old trees. It's pretty amazing. Anyway, New Zealand tourism slogan aside there, let's go ahead and get into this. So we got this I want to share with you. I posted this on X last night, and it basically shapes up the majority of the bull bear arguments and where I'm standing right now. So let's go run over the list real quick with you. So the bullish catalysts right now, rate cuts just happened. More will come. And you got to keep in mind, in May, Powell gets replaced by basically a Trump puppet, someone who's going to just do whatever Trump says, essentially, okay? Quantitative tightening is ending in December. That's good. That's good. The Fed has been nonstop running off their balance sheet for a long time. This is good news, okay? Government shutdown is going to end soon. Won't be much longer, another week, another 2. Fine. When that happens, the TGA, okay, this is the general account for the Treasury. There's almost $1 trillion in it right now. It's been just smashing higher because banks have not been able to access liquidity because everything's been closed. Once that opens back up, we're going to see a massive liquidity flood coming into the markets, okay? So just that's something to watch out for sure. Lark, you're an experienced person. I want to know one thing from you. Can Bitcoin fall below $100,000, like $90,000 or $80,000? Well, in my experience, literally anything can happen. Okay, markets have been very weak. We've been struggling to get bid recently. I'm not saying that's the most likely scenario. We have been above $100,000 for a very, very long time now. But big round numbers are just big round numbers. Okay, anything's possible in crypto. And the longer you're in this market, the more you realize anything's possible and the more you embrace the chaos of the market. Okay, there you go. Anyway, continuing. China trade deal removes a massive headache from the markets. This has been worrying the markets, and now we're dealing with some of the sell-off from that. Was on my shirt here, just keeps flipping over. We're dealing with some of the sell-off from that, okay? Sell the news. Bitcoin still above the 50-week EMA. Good. That 50-week EMA, by the way, is at $100,000. And to the comment about can we go under $100,000? We can always do anything in the markets, okay? But if we do go under $100,000 and we do a weekly candle close under $100,000, I would put that as a very worrying sign in the market because the 50-week EMA has held up the entire market cycle so far. Losing that for weekly closes starting to go under there probably signals a massive trend shift in the market, okay? Just FYI. Altcoin ETFs will bring broader liquidity into the market. That's happening right now. We have Solana, 2 Solana ETFs now. We have HBAR and we have Litecoin, more coming soon, okay? Gold run cooling. This is usually a good indicator for Bitcoin move higher. BTC others. First monthly MACD bull cross in years. Last 2 times it happened, basically it was right at the start of a massive epic risk-on season for cryptocurrency markets, particularly for altcoins. Adoption accelerating, news like Western Union, Citibank, all that kind of stuff. We just keep getting big news stories every single day. Big crypto market bill coming in the USA, also bullish, okay? Earnings in the stock market largely keeping up with stock valuations. But yes, there is a bit of froth. Cannot argue the fact that there is some froth, right? Obviously. Look, JP Morgan says stocks need to go up another 50% to match the .com levels of insanity. Just FYI, okay? This bubble can get a heck of a lot more frothy and bubblier before things get over, right? Continuing. Usually November and December are the best months for markets, but October was bad for crypto, which is rare. So seasonality predictions, look, we have seen a whole bunch of things happen this cycle that haven't happened in previous cycles. New all-time high before the Bitcoin halving, for example, stuff like that. So be careful about focusing too much on seasonality, but the betting man would say that November and December are the best months in the stock market, and gosh darn it, we cannot be so massively correlated from stocks forever, okay? Sell-offs after the Fed meeting are very, very common, and prices usually start looking better a week or so later, okay? Particularly for Bitcoin. ISM PMI still under 50. Market tops come when it's 60, 65, not when it's under 50, okay? Business cycle delayed, not over. Important, meaning we likely face an extended cycle. I know Bitcoin 4-year theorists don't like to talk about that. Okay, but there you go. Bearish catalyst, the other side of the coin. So stocks have been running hot. A cool off is normal, but crypto won't like it if that happens. We have the Hindenburg bear signal. We're going to talk about that in a second. Lots of bearish weekly MACD crosses in crypto. Crypto charts have not been looking fantastic recently, but there's also some silver linings that we're going to get to the charts here in a minute. Sentiment in the gutter post 1010 crash. Many crypto investors in pain, losing faith, watching stocks run higher. I get it. It has been damn frustrating, man. Damn frustrating. Labor markets remain weak and AI-driven layoff fears are high. People are now afraid Jerome Powell won't cut again in December. Fears that the AI capital expenditure from big tech like Meta can't sustain. Fear that the $1 trillion OpenAI IPO will mark the top for a while. Could be a couple months out still. 4-year cycle suggests the top was actually a month ago. We're all late. It's the beginning of the end, and we're fucked. Basically. Sell now, repent for your sins, and get out. There's more, but those are, of course, the main points. So you need to decide what camp you're in. There's the bull case. There's the bear case. Do you think the best days of this market cycle are ahead of us? If so, hold the line. If you are on the bear side, think it's been too bullish in the stock market, all that kind of stuff, blah, 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 you should be in cash or bonds or something right now, right? Virtuals are pumping. Base ecosystems and pumping more broadly. I feel like I pivot some money back over there, but also don't want to go chasing. It's tricky, isn't it? I think virtuals are doing good. Clankers pumped. We've seen a lot of other stuff. We'll talk more about that later. Anyway, I remain bullish. TLDR, I remain bullish. There are adequate catalysts right now to see the bull market continue for the foreseeable future. We do need to keep an eye on some of these bearish signals, though. Okay, they could invalidate the bull case. I remain heavily deployed into the market. If I'm wrong, I eat shit. Won't be the first time. Won't be the last time. That's what it is. Okay, there you go. Let's continue. SPX futures opening up in the green. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Now, the Hindenburg weak breadth signal was triggered yesterday. Past 30 times this has happened. The SPX fell 83% of the time within 2 months. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Now, what's also interesting is that, yes, within 2 months, we would often see prices go down for the S&P 500. But 1 year out, in most cases, markets are still dramatically higher, with some exceptions being like 2018 and 2021, late 2021 and stuff like that. So most of the time when this signals, markets are still higher 6 to 12 months later. Okay, just FYI. But the counter to this, because you're going to see this Hindenburg, man, all over the place right now. All right. The counterpoint to this is this, the Hindenburg Buster. Lark, do you do portfolio reviews? We don't really do portfolio reviews. Every once in a while, we do a good portfolio roast. We've done them a few times in the Discord and even a few times here on YouTube, but haven't done it in a while. not really like our thing that we do. Sometimes just do it for fun. Hindenburg Buster, the signal flashed 5 times and the Fed cut rates than 2% of all-time highs. Despite the noise, 3-month SPX returns were positive in all cases, between 3 to 9%. Also 100% positive after 12 months. Don't fight the Fed. Don't fight the trend. Very true. Very true. Again, we're getting a new Fed chief in May. This dude's going to cut rates disgustingly. Money's going to go back to like 1% or something like that, man. When I hear extended cycle and overcooked, that's when I get out of the market. Well, then you would have been out of the market a year ago. It's been talking about the extended cycle theory for a while now. But I understand your pessimism. I would say if we were talking about the extended cycle theory with markets absolutely raging, one thing. But the reason we talk about an extended cycle theory is not just because we're sitting here just pulling ideas out of our butts, right? We're looking at the business cycle. We're looking at the credit cycles. We're looking at the global M2 cycles, all that kind of stuff. And all this points to the fact that most likely things will continue to run for longer. Particularly the business cycle, the ISM, PMI, stuff like that makes a relatively convincing case that the top is not in. Could be different this time. Can always be different. Okay. And again, like I said, you got to decide where you put yourself. Which side of the fence are you on, the bull or the bear? Okay. Some of you guys just, you stress yourselves out in the indecision. If you really think the markets are fucked and everything's over, just go to cash, man. Go to bonds. Stop stressing yourself out. You can always reassess later. But if you believe the best days of this market cycle are ahead of us, that it's not over, that's not the end of all things, then stop stressing. You'll be fine. Okay. Continuing. This from Kavizi letter. The S&P 500 is traded above its 50-day moving average for 125 consecutive sessions, the longest streak since 2011 when it lasted 130 sessions. It also marks the 3rd longest stretch this century. The longest run since 2000 was 149 sessions, which ended in February 2007. Before that, the index remained above its 50-day moving average for 250 consecutive trading days from January 1995 to January 1996. That was the dot-com bubble. Its longest streak on record dating back to 1928. So again, a correction in markets, particularly for stocks, will be cool and normal. Okay, so I'm running super hot. Give me a nice little correction in stocks and add up some bags, man. Okay. Yes, David. Or is this first comment ever thing here? 0 top indicators, 0 large Bitcoin pumps, no altcoin season, 0 euphoria. The bull run hasn't even really started, and people will sell way too early once we start actually pumping. Agreed. Continuing, NASDAQ correcting yesterday with futures and the green price. See it move back up a little bit, but this thing's getting overextended, man. It's getting overextended. You know, a pullback to the 50-day EMA, totally cool and normal, and happens all the time in markets. That's only a 5% move down. It's not even that crazy, but that would cool off a lot of the big hot names in tech right now. You think like, CleanSpark and Iron and some of the rare earth companies. For example, some of that stuff would cool down pretty significantly on a 5% move down for the NASDAQ. Okay, just FYI. This is a good one. This is the Treasury General Account. I just wanted to show this chart I mentioned a bit earlier, but look at this. Almost $1 trillion right now. Almost $1 trillion. I want to do the TLDR down here for you. Liquidity headwinds ease after this week, alleviating pressure on Bitcoin. Towards the end of November and into the end of QT on December 1st, liquidity becomes a tailwind and we really pump. Again, this is why I remain optimistic on the markets. I'm not willing to get totally bear-hold. I can understand the bear's case in some cases. Equities could use a correction, all that kind of stuff. Sure. We have massive liquidity coming with the TGA. We have the QT ending. We have more rate cuts and all this other stuff we just talked about. It's convincing enough for me to stay in. Let's put it that way. Jack has shared this good chart here. He says, to me, this is pretty much the same cycle psychology-wise, looking back at the previous cycle. So that's on the bottom here. You had an initial mini bull season, followed by long, drawn-out, exhausting semi-bear with hope for recovery for a comeback. All just before the black swan COVID tariffs to kill all dreams. Just like we have the 1010 crash. Full V-shaped recovery, not followed by the broader market. Current low volume reaccumulation where everyone loses hope. It's also twice as long time-wise as it was in the past, which makes it even worse for people. But I don't have any reason to think we're at any different stage. The only way is to not lose focus. Yes, Life will always test you out the fullest. The moment you start to get closer to your breakthrough, universe is testing your conviction, the test before success, and most of the people around will only make it tougher, planting the seed of doubt in you. Preach it, brother. Let's go. The life is asking you, do you really want it? And then it comes. So if you feel pressed, challenged, even broke, it is the beginning, not the end. It's the beginning of something greater. Good words, man. Good words. I dig it. Bitcoin on the daily. We are facing a potential. We have 14 hours until the daily close, guys. It's a long time. Many Trump tweets potentially away. Okay, just FYI. But so far, we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. But so far, potential bullish engulfing candle forming up here for Bitcoin. Let's see how we play out, okay? Gosh darn, we're up to 15 minutes. Larkin is rambling. Holy shit. Anyway, that's constructive. Bouncing once again off the 200-day EMA. Got stopped out of my longs again yesterday. Should have just, this was last night. I was looking at the prices around 107 or something like that. I should have got my ass out of bed, come down and put in a long, shouldn't I have? Oh, well. Anyway, let's see how the rest of the day plays out. Let's get us back with the 20-day EMA. Things start getting instructive there. Bounces off the 200-day EMA are fine, cool, and normal, okay? By the way, guys, as mentioned, we got stopped out yesterday on the Bitcoin trade, unfortunately. Taking the weekend off trading again, probably a terrible decision. We probably pump all weekend. Is what it is. Anyway, Solana long, still amazingly open after all this time. If you want to join me trading over on BitUnix, guys, never been a better time to sign up. You can get that $700 deposit bonus. Put in $2,000, you get $400, $5,000, you get $500, $10,000, you get $700. Crazy trading bonus. So we're giving away $1,000 during our live streams. Today is a live stream. Let's give away some money here. So who do we have for our winners today? This guy here, nice. Put in $2,000. Dig it. Number 26. I have no idea what Grok is. This is crazy, Grok. How is this even possible? Anyway, this guy put in $2,000, gets $500 back. Grok's going crazy, man. Don't even get it, Grok. Don't even get it. How do we keep ending up back at the beginning of this list somehow? You have 4,000 names on here. Wait a second. And did he choose an existing winner? No. Hold on a second here. What's going on? Why is that not coming up? Am I putting in the right number? Let's just try again. Here we go. Hold on. I think that's what happened. You know what? I don't even know what's going on with Grok here. Literally, all the entries from last week have all been in the top 100. Anyway, whatever. Congratulations. That dude put in $2,000, got $500 back. So shout out to everybody who signed up in the first week. You guys have been, Grok has been favoring you for one weird reason or another. Anyway, there it is. So next we got a new promotion coming too, by the way. So check it out when we start running it. Anyway, guys, earnings have been in. Earnings came in strong for quite a lot of companies. Amazon earnings came in strong, $2.4 billion beat on earnings. Price went up about 10% in post-market trading. MicroStrategy coming in strong here as well. Fantastic. Came in at 842 versus the estimated 790. MicroStrategy, as usual, killing it. Do not fade Sailor. I know the price of strategy has been down, but damn, man, Sailor just keeps on delivering. Coinbase, another great example, beating earnings again, not massively, but still beating earnings. So great. Coin to the moon, baby. $1,000 coin, I'm telling you. Earnings generally looking pretty good, okay? Meta went down about 10% on their news. They had to pay about a $15 billion, I think, tariff tax or something like that. So whatever, not really a big deal. Meta's got plenty of cash. You can see some stocks like CleanSpark back down to the 20-day EMA. I own this stock, by the way. You see back down 20-day EMA. Pre-market's showing it just back above the yellow line here. I'd be interested to see it back around 15 bucks. I think that'd be an interesting area to add some more to the position, let's say. Qualcomm, man, this thing, they announced basically they're going to go head-to-head competing with NVIDIA with a new generation of AI GPUs. I think this is relatively undervalued. It's got about a 16x PE versus, I think, NVIDIA is like 50, 55x, something like that, $200 billion market cap versus $5 trillion market cap. Just someone wake up, let her sleep, man. Let her sleep. She's going to miss the stream today. Like I said, had to go early, but a little bit early today. AMD. AMD's, of course, had a wild run here. Would love to see it pull back a little bit. You can see the MACD on the daily is heading over towards a bearish crossover. Might give me an opportunity to load up at least at the 20-day, if not the 50-day EMA. Man, if you get some entries around 200 bucks on this bad boy, would not be bad. Let's see how we play out over the next few weeks. Kyle saying, of course, the OpenAI IPO for $1 trillion may end up providing at least a good local top for the AI boom. Wouldn't be surprised to see it happen, to be honest. Bitmine, Tom Lee is out here doing God's work, man. Buying another $160 million worth of Ethereum yesterday. Let's go, man. ETH. Right on top of this downtrend line. Again, now we whipped way under, of course, yesterday, but not totally unconstructive charts here, okay? ETH, of course, has been relatively weak for quite a while. Tom Lee, buy more, dude. Buy more. That's all I can say. 20-day EMA overhead at $4,000, okay? Solana. Solana. Come on, Solana. What are we doing here, buddy? Anyway, back of the 200-day EMA. Bulls need to get us about above $188 or so. Ideally, back of the 20-day EMA around $195, okay? So if you're looking to play this, you can play the breakout beyond the 200-day EMA. That may be an interesting spot to try to go long on this. Obviously, crypto remains very weak, as we discussed before. It can take up to 90 days post-leverage crash like we had back on 10/10 for markets to fully recover. Let's see how equities continue to move out over the next few days here. Could continue to provide enough tailwind for us, but really look forward to the government reopening. That's a few weeks away. Look forward to QT ending. These are all major tailwinds for the markets, and crypto will probably respond accordingly when it starts happening. Zcash continues to do its new paradigm of money vibe. Still right here at the critical line. You can see it is moving in line with expectations right now. That's the thing. Momentum has slowed significantly on it. It's still going up in price. So congratulations to the Zcash bulls. Hats off, guys. You're winning the game right now. But the tricky part at the moment is that you need to see, you see RSI is trying to have a little bit of a breakout here, but you need to see the price get over this line. That's going to start the next real strong move up where it goes, you know, from 400 to 700-800 bucks or something like that. Or we get rejected here in the not so distant future, okay, and see a bit of a price pullback on this bad boy. Because what have we got forming up also here? A rising wedge, which is a bearish chart pattern. So what you need to see, if you're a Zcash bull, a strong move above the top line of resistance. That's around 400 bucks, let's say. Daily close above 400 bucks, this thing could be cooking. Okay, the challenge is that if you get a daily close under about 320, that may break the downside of the wedge and then see a move back to like 200 bucks or something like that. I don't know. It seems a bit dramatic right now for Zcash, considering how much hype there is around this as, you know, the new Bitcoin, essentially getting huge play on social media. A lot of people aping in, of course. I should have aped the second I saw Naval tweet about it. What were you thinking, Lark? Should have just aped. Cut your shit coin bags. Buy Zcash. Naval sent the signal. Little rock going up in the air. Psh, buy Zcash. And I said, that's nice fireworks there, Naval. And I didn't buy. Anyway, I remember covering this on the stream at 80 bucks. Now I just have to cope as I watch it go higher. C'est la vie, man. C'est la vie. We'll keep covering it, though. Eleanor Tourette Canary Funds has filed an updated S1 for its XRP spot ETF. Let's go. XRP ETF coming soon. I think she says November 13th, potential launch date. XRP has not really reacted in any meaningful way to that announcement, but, you know, chart looking like a lot of charts right now. It needs to get back over the 20-day, 50-day, 200-day EMAs. You know, it, like most things in crypto, has been relatively weak recently. The majors have been weak. Crypto's been weak more broadly. XRP ETFs, XRP digital asset treasury companies, all this stuff coming right now could make a difference here for this asset, but it's still a huge market cap, $150 billion or something right now, with really the pressure on XRP never having been stronger, with Western Union partnering up, not with XRP. They used to be partnered with XRP. That ended a long time ago. And guess what? Now they're on Solana, right? Stablecoin transfers, cheap everywhere. XRP's use case, dwindling. Okay, oh, we're going to do real world assets now. Yeah, we're doing real world assets in Solana, Ethereum already, baby. And they got more wallets, more users, more stuff going on. So the XRP dudes, you know, Chris and Brad, they got to get their shit together. They got to get more people on the XRP ledger. I know they got all those partnerships, but they need to come into fruition and make it reality. And the ETFs will bring buy pressure, and the digital asset treasury companies will bring buy pressure. Hopefully it's real buy pressure, not just more exit liquidity for Chris and Brad from their bags. Anyway, Pump Fun had a big correction yesterday, but the uptrend remains intact. 20-day EMA, we need to recover that ASAP. And again, the real move comes on the break of this orange line, not sooner, okay? Pango, you're breaking my heart, dude. The one meme coin I believe in, man. We like the penguin coin. Back within our falling wedge. Wild volatility here. Let's see if we can, if the Pengu bulls can step it up. Chart's looking pretty rough, man. All the EMAs stacking in literally the exact wrong direction. Pretty soon the 50 is going to be under the 200, and it's exact inversion of where you want to be. Game over. Massive 8-year bear market coming. Let's go. Let's go. Guys, we're not signed up to the newsletter yet. Sign up to the newsletter. It's awesome. It's free. You'll love it. Links down below. We got research reports on altcoins. We got research reports on stocks. Some of the recent research reports we've done for altcoins have been like top 10 airdrops that you can farm on perp dexes. We've done Avantis. We've done all kinds of great stuff, stable, and on and on and on. We got stock reports. This week we got Qualcomm coming for our stock report of the week. Very interesting one. Of course, I'm biased because I own some Qualcomm stocks, but I think it's worth people knowing what the heck they're doing and their new AI push. So we got that. We got all kinds of stuff. It's a free newsletter. You can go premium if you want to get the premium reports, but otherwise you can go to free newsletter and get, you know, multi times per week, 3 times a week, trade updates, degen plays, all the latest news in the market that you need to know as an investor that maybe we're not even covering the stream sometimes. So go check it out. It's free. It's free. Link down below. So, okay. Red light hat. Actually, I need a water. Hold on a second. Back, baby. We're back. Hydrate. How will the market react when the government reopens? You know, should be positive. The way the market's been going, who knows? Probably reopen the government, dump the market again. Any good news, just dump it fast. Like we said, the Treasury General account will be now accessible. There's $1 trillion in liquidity sitting there. That $1 trillion in liquidity is going to start very quickly getting drained off by the banks, flooding back into the system in a very quick way. Okay, so that's a good thing. That's probably a very big bullish catalyst for the markets when we reopen. Okay. We got the, oh, here we go. I got the report on Meteora dropping today. Be interested to read that one, actually. It's been some real drama with Meteora over time. But let's see what the report says. It's obviously one of the biggest protocols for doing LPs on Solana. So there you go. Anyway, continuing. This bull market ain't different, unfortunately. We will not see alts pump, and we are in the last leg deciding what will happen. Look at the bearish divergence on the weekly BTC RSI. They want to keep us working, no pump for you. Almost time. I really believe altcoins will run in a few weeks, maybe late November. Would line up with the Treasury General account getting, you know, hundreds of billions of liquidity back into the market. It would line up with the ending of QT coming soon, all that kind of stuff. Any particular reason for Trump to have a nice pump recently? Crime. Just crime. Are you buying the Evernorth stock when the IPO drops? No, not for me. That's the XRP digital asset treasury company, for those who don't know. No, not interested. I've already got Ethereum digital asset treasury companies, Bitmine and SharpLink. Been so holding those, let's say. It's enough exposure for me to digital asset treasury company stuff, to be honest. I don't think I need any more than that. Yeah. And an XRP digital asset treasury company, nah, not interested. And look at how bad the performance has generally been on digital asset treasury companies. It's a rougher proposition. You know, there's some that will do well. MicroStrategy obviously did super well, and then everybody tried to copy the model. I think someone like Bitmine has potential to do pretty well. And yeah, maybe Evernorth. I have no idea. I haven't looked into it enough to say one way or the other. But it's not really my if I'm putting money in the stock market, generally when I put money into the stock market, I put money into non-crypto stuff. I mean, my single biggest stock holding is still Coinbase, so that's worth keeping in mind. But I've been in that for ages and bought a whole shit ton during the bear market. So there's that going for it. But I think that I don't need any more exposure to crypto. You know, I got Galaxy Digital recently, but that's an AI data center play. It's also doing crypto, which is great. That's their core business, make a lot of money doing that. But they're also now getting into AI data centers, which I think is a bullish expansion for them. So that's good. But stuff I've been buying recently has been more stuff like, okay, I bought Clean Spark and they're a Bitcoin miner, but they're transitioning and doing AI stuff as well. I think there's a great case to be made for Bitcoin mining stocks to be something to be paying attention to. Qualcomm, AMD, stuff like that. Anyway, rather buy more of that than another digital asset treasury company personally. Every cycle, all this news is so bullish, yet things happen like they will until proven otherwise. The number one thing that gets everyone excited is price going up. Sorry. Number one thing is price going up. That's the best technology in crypto. There's no indicator saying we've reached the top and the bear market is around the corner. I'm still bullish. AU Wall Street. Agreed. Basically, everything is saying this is just some bullshit. It's mid-cycle bullshit. The 10-10 crypto would be in a much better situation right now had it not been for the 10-10 crash. We would still, be correcting with fears and stuff in the stock markets, whatever. But that 10-10 crash really fucked people up. So I think we should acknowledge that. But yes, basically none of the top signals will come in for the market. Just remember, guys, there'll be a big decision in the market coming soon. And if it's in your favor, do not stay in La La Land and refuse to press the sell button. Nothing wrong taking profits. We always say that. Aren't there still ETFs? Still a lot of ETFs pending, man. Yeah, there's 3 or 4 more Litecoin ETFs, a couple Dogecoin ETFs, like 10 Solana ETFs, a bunch of XRP ETFs, and all kinds of other stuff. We have Sui, we have Avalanche, we have Cardano, Pengu Coin, and much, much more. It's going to get real crazy out there, man. Is Lark on the vodka? Woo! No, just the sparkling water, man. I enjoy watching my stocks. Real estate isn't doing great, but it will. This year is my first time at crypto. Maybe I should have stayed with something I know. Didn't bet the farm, mind you. I think one of the things is when you come in as a new crypto investor, the desire to go way down the risk spectrum to try to get outsized returns is really, really big. When realistically, let's say, okay, you're into stocks, you're into real estate, you're interested in crypto, you want to learn more, you want to know what's going on, but maybe you don't have like a load of time to get in the weeds and farm airdrops and try to chase new meme coins or whatever other bullshit's going on in the cryptocurrency market, right? That's where a lot of money gets made too. You just want to have exposure to crypto. You might actually just be very simply doing more than you need to do. you might be very well served by just taking, 5 to 10, just as an example, 5 to 10% of your portfolio and just putting into like Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum. Maybe that's even it. You don't really need anything else. Those 3 alone are going to give you some nice returns, better returns probably than the stock market over the next 10 years. And you're not taking so much risk that you're going to keep yourself up at night when the corrections come, because they always do, right? Please make ETH go up. Tom Lee, make ETH go up. What NFTs do you hold? Nothing substantial, to be honest. Just some random shit. Don't really hold much in the way of NFTs these days. Still have some of the ones I collected back in 21 that I like and just kind of held on to, but I don't hold anything like super significant. Don't know. Maybe I'll buy a CryptoPunk one day. Kind of always just hesitate. It's like, that's a lot of money to spend on a piece of digital art. Might be worth it. Don't know. Still might buy one. I always think, yeah, but I could buy stocks or something with that instead. That'll actually, make me money. Lark, you planning on selling your altcoins by the end of the year? If you're some crypto veterans, others might do so for risking out. They're already doing that. People already think the 4-year cycle's topped and it's over. Look, I will sell my altcoins. I've thought about this. When we make the move, which I think we will still, when we make the move up to that sort of 150, 160, 2.618 Fibonacci line for Bitcoin, I think altcoins rally massively around that time. And I'll probably take profits on most of them, depending on how, of course, things go in the market. But I'll exit my ETH position, see how we go. I see what the Solana charts are looking like. I can see exiting the Solana position there as well and looking to reaccumulate whenever the market's correct again. The other altcoins, yeah, I could see cutting all the bags and then just reassessing. Take the cash, reassess, think about it later. I've made 20x selling Pokemon cards. Good, awesome, love it. Man, nothing wrong with doing other things to make money. If your number one thing to try to make money is strictly crypto, stressful, man. Stressful. A lot of bullshit that goes on in this market. But if you're farming airdrops and doing, liquidity provision and putting your stable coins to work at stablecoin farms, there's a lot of ways to make money too. Everything I buy drops the same hour. It's absurdly obvious. You need to tell us when you're about to buy something, okay? That way we can all short it. Jokes, man. Do you like any new memes? No, I haven't really been paying attention to any new memes. I mean, if you're into the Binance Smart Chain season stuff, which is kind of over, I guess. But if you like BSC, then maybe the 4 meme. But the only meme I hold right now is Pengu. I think it's got enough zeitgeist catalyst-y stuff behind it that it's probably going to do pretty well in the next risk-on environment. Yeah. Everyone get into Athena, minimum 5x by February. I like the way you think, Sunshine. Let's go. What are your thoughts on the 92K CME gap? Look, there's a whole bunch of CME gaps right back down the line that never got filled. Okay, so the CME gap, to an extent, it's a bit of a meme, to be honest. Yes, they often get filled, but that's just because prices are volatile. And okay, yeah, price going down 4 or 5% in a week's not that dramatic of a situation. So some of them get filled. Most of them get filled because of just short-term price volatility, but there's also been plenty that have never been filled and will never get filled. Knock on wood. By the way, when people say buy memes, only 1 to 5% of your crypto portfolio should be allocated to it. Yeah, memes are wildly high risk. The chance of losing all your money is extremely, extremely high. Never forget that, okay? We're going to finish up there for today. You guys are awesome. I appreciate your time. See you back on Monday for the next stream. We got some great videos coming to the weekend, so keep an eye out for that. Peace.